if they felt like some guy was particularly stubborn, we would sit him in the center of the chapel, and we'd have chairs of everybody in a circle, all looking at him, and every single person was, they demanded that we criticize that person. We had to say 3 things that we thought were wrong with that person. And we were instructed not to compliment at all. And I admit I did it. I tried to be nice about it, but I just felt like, gosh, that is pretty scary to be that guy. And it didn't change him at all. It just hardened him even more. You know, but they assume that someone's been like, oh, I get all this criticism, I'm just going to break down. Oh, I'm so wrong. You're right. I'm a bad person. You know, because they just try to put this thing in you that's you're a bad person. You're a bad person. Well, that program did have a lot of hardened criminal type guys in that program, but a lot of us were there just because we were gay. I mean, that was like our crime, you know. So some of us were there with borderline sex offenders that were cheating on their wives with girls in the youth group, and then some of us were there in the situations that were like, mine. The other programs that I was into, because I was up in Anchorage, Alaska for so long, were those sexual addiction groups for men. And so I was again placed with men like that had some real serious issues, and I was treated as if I had those kind of issues as well. So I learned a lot about sexual addiction. And it took me a long time to realize that I wasn't one. When I did my presentation a couple of years ago, I was being interviewed by a Seattle newspaper about identity thieves. And the interviewer asked me if I believe I've been brainwashed. I never thought about that. I honestly, after all these years of being out of that stuff, never really asked myself, was I brainwashed? And now I'm like, yes, I was. But it was hard for me to admit that even just last year. So this is a process.